Hi, my name is Stefan, and I'm a Sales and Partner Relations Executive here at SuccessFinder. SuccessFinder helps organizations make more confident hiring and talent management decisions thanks to the insights generated by our behavioral assessment platform. Today, I'm going to briefly discuss how behavioral insights can help teams better perform in remote and hybrid workplaces. More specifically, I'd like to elaborate on how managers can best support their employees by understanding their behavioral preferences. The challenge of understanding how to best support each employee based on what makes them unique has always existed. The challenge is that much greater when you eliminate some or all of the face-to-face interaction, the way we're forced to today. There's simply a lot less to work with when it comes to management based on experience and intuition. So this is where data can become very helpful. So what do we mean by behavioral insights? Some of you might be familiar with psychometrics, but to give you a short explanation, what we'd like to understand are individuals' natural behavioral propensities. These are people's preferences for displaying certain traits at work. The higher the preference, the less effort is required to display a particular trait. And conversely, the lower the preference, the higher the effort required. We say that a person has a good fit for a role when their propensities are well aligned with the tasks associated with their position, because it will require less effort than the average person for them to complete those tasks. This is a statistically accurate recipe for success, in fact. Naturally, the more granular the raw data, the more nuance you can produce and the more interesting the insights you can extract. Ideally, you want your behavioral insights to be sufficiently nuanced to reveal that what truly makes every employee unique so that you can adapt your approach in a wide variety of situations. So, what could the use of behavioral insights look like in practice in a remote or hybrid workplace? We'll now look at 3 different generic scenarios within an organization. At the most fundamental level is the interaction between 2 individuals, a manager and an employee. It is equally beneficial for a manager to understand their own behavioral profile as it is to understand the profile of the person that reports to them, because it's all about dynamics. For example, a manager may have hired someone through a completely virtual process, maybe even with the help of a behavioral assessment, and is still getting to know their new colleague without the benefits of face-to-face water cooler chats, so to speak. The manager themselves in this scenario was formerly a fantastic individual contributor, but knows that they are very low on patience and tact. Their desire to move things forward and straight to the point style was beneficial in their career progression up to that point. However, those same propensities could have adverse effects when collaborating or taking on first and intermediate level leadership roles. Now add to this scenario the fact that the new employee's profile reveals that they have moderate to low openness to criticism, which is always interesting to discover about a person, and low stress tolerance, which they themselves may have little awareness of. So you can imagine that the manager may benefit from mitigating the effects of their low patience and tact while really tapping into their natural leadership strengths. The employee could be a one-of-a-kind problem solver when given ample time and encouragement to process information and perform at their best. And in fact, these 2 individuals may even be able to connect on their shared propensity to strive for excellence if they can successfully mitigate the potential negative effects based on their particular dynamic. This is a broad example, but I'm sure you can imagine how these kinds of insights can be helpful in a variety of situations where a manager is providing support to their employee. On a larger scale, we can look at teams and culture. The potential benefits of behavioral insights extend to a more macro level, from data on teams to entire organizations. Teams have what you could call behavioral identities as well. Managers can assess the collective strengths and areas of development of their teams. This example shows how many individuals in this 20-person team score low, medium, or high on some key behavioral competencies. This group appears to be composed of individuals who have executive-type profiles with high scores on things like leadership, or leading decisively rather, maximizing effort through hard work, inspiring others, etc. However, 15 out of the 20 have a low reflecting creatively and intuitively score. And none of them have high scores, meaning that the group as a whole may have a tendency to find solutions that are based on past experience and thinking inside the box. There's nothing inherently problematic about that. In fact, that's a highly desirable a quality in some situations, However, if this team shares a mandate that requires solving problems that cannot be solved using traditional methods, they could face some challenges. In that case, it might be beneficial to recommend adding some new contributors who are natural out-of-the-box thinkers with higher reflecting creatively and intuitively scores. Anecdotally, I've been part of teams that are the complete opposite of this. Teams that generate lots of ideas, but with few people to keep others on topic and moving forward with realistic options. When we noticed that this was the case, we implemented some strict measures relating to creating meeting agendas, taking meeting minutes, and any other process that help us structure our collaboration process, which made us a lot more effective. Finally, on a company-wide scale, it's possible to capture organizational culture using behavioral data. Once again, we're simply tapping into information on employees' preferences. The data on employees that have high job satisfaction and success and that best represent the company's values can be used to determine whether there is a pattern in their profiles that makes them perform at a high level in a specific organization, regardless of their role, department, or seniority. At SuccessFinder, we take this a little bit further and we pair the aspects of culture that can be measured with the aspirational culture set by the company leadership, which are typically things that are closely tied to the company's values. And we do this to create a hybrid company cultural identity. There are multiple applications for such a tool, but perhaps the best example might be during the hiring of a new employee. Beyond how the candidate fits the role they've applied for, the hiring team can use a culture fit benchmark to get an impression of how well they match with the existing culture and how they might help move the company in the direction of their aspired culture. The following image is how we visualize where a candidate is situated on the spectrum of scores of other individuals in this group. From a broader perspective, that is perhaps a little less scientific, you can imagine how having a strong understanding of your company culture can help you promote and nurture it, even in remote or hybrid workplaces. You can explain to employees what they have in common and give them a sense of belonging, all from a distance. To summarize, behavioral insights can significantly offset some of the challenges that managers now face in supporting and developing employees. SuccessFinder captures rich behavioral data with one assessment. And with that single comprehensive set of data per person, organizations gain access to insights that are applicable across the entire employee lifecycle at different levels of the organization in a wide variety of applications. SuccessFinder is more than just a psychometric assessment, of course. We provide an intuitive cloud software as a service platform that makes leveraging this complex data easy. If you'd like to discuss this topic further or learn more about SuccessFinder, please do feel free to contact me by email. I hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching.